Hey YouTube, my name is Gawd and you're watching Gawd Cafe. So today we're going to talk about Taurus rising. Taurus rising in the month of May and what you guys are going to experience. And I want this video to be in particular to any Taurus risings, as it will be most spot on based off of the houses. If you know about the houses. If you do not, I will make videos on that later on. Right now, I just crave to, cater to a little bit more of a specific, reading in order for you, just to attract my soul tribe and anyone who connects with me. And then we'll get into any basics with astrology. But I've been, following astrology for a while. And I only use Oracle for the time being. Nothing against tarot. Love tarot. I watch tarot all the time. I'm still, with my intuition, I'll get to that in another video. Anyway, I just like to read with nature. I'll just put it there. I like to read with the elements of nature. So I have the moon deck and an animal deck. So Taurus rising, the first thing I'm getting is that right now, what's coming about in your life is that you have to now release these expectations. You have a lot of expectations based off of, just the stability that you have or crave, depending on where you're at in your life and your journey. So these expectations around stability and who's giving it to you. My love, if it's not yourself giving you the stability, then to desire from someone else should be extra credits and the cherry on top, not the definite, not okay, let me share this one. Yes. So it should be the cherry on top. It should not be like the do-all, like, okay, this is the person I rely on, or this person gives me stability and I can't leave them. Because now you put yourself in a toxic space. And, just keep in mind, the opposite of the first house, which is Taurus for you, is Scorpio in the 7th. So your relationships, being that the 7th house is for relationships, your relationships may take a turn in power plays if you give someone too much of that power to give you that stability, because then they could take it away. Scorpio just creating a death, then rebirthing it back, or it could manifest in many ways. But I do see that you have to take note of if your expectations are in the right. Because we should have expectations, or more so standards. Now, in order for us to manifest, a lot of the times when we expect too much, it creates a delay, or in turn pushes the blessing away. Because when you create resistance by desiring something forcefully, your energy isn't in a receiving state. It's if you're eager to receive, that could be good if you're not expecting what it is that you're receiving, If you're eager about receiving things in life, oh my God, powerful manifester. That's what you guys are amazing at. However, do not tie into perhaps another person or thing, or put too much importance into what you would like, but just let yourself like it and then let it go, so that the lack of resistance can actually manifest it, Anyway, so with this Aries eclipse that we just went through, it was very prominent because, where's Aries for you guys? in your 12th house. So this impacted your unconsciousness. So you guys probably are recognizing this. So this is what I'm telling you. Everything that I'm saying perhaps is something you've been dwelling on or will dwell on. And perhaps you're watching this to reconfirm that you've been dwelling on it and you're in the right to dwell on these things. And it's okay to not realize, it's okay to realize now that you're wrong or that you just didn't know better. It's the accountability that will set you free, that, you know, will make you feel better about yourself. If you're like, yeah, it is what it is, gotta move on though, it will reignite this sort of patience with the process again. Because it's funny, because I feel like being a Taurus rising, people may assume you're more patient than you let lead on because you're holding back from reacting. And times you're not holding back from reacting. You're letting yourself react a lot. You know what I mean? Maybe you're letting yourself, so it could manifest those two ways. You could be a person that holds back, and then explodes. Or you could be a person that has been there and now has a fiery tongue and is just going to say everything out their mouth without thinking twice. So it's interesting because I could see how, being that Taurus is in the middle of Aries and Gemini, how the traits kind of rub into it a little bit. Being impulsive like an Aries can be something that a Taurus may experience with their anger. And saying too much like a Gemini is something else that a Taurus may do when upset. Not prior. Not much might even be said. But, you know, I pulled these two cards here. I do not crave to pull a third. I do want to use the animal deck. If I feel like I need another clarifier or something, I will. So right now, the first card that came out, this is funny. It's time to release negativity. Okay, Taurus rising, it's time to release negativity. So right now, full moon in a Scorpio. So what this gives me is, wow, and we were talking about the 8th house opposite, the 7th house opposite Taurus, and that being Scorpio there. So it's time to release the negativity within your relationships is what I'm getting. It's time to release the expectations you have out of relationships altogether. That being, you know, a sexual relationship or just regular friendships. Right now, it's a time for you to dive into your authenticity and your natural innate clock. Being patient with yourself as you have presented to be patient with others at times. And this could be also the reverse, because I do feel like that's how Taurus is a little dualistic for me when I meet Taurus risings or anybody with Taurus placements. How it manifests is very different based off of where you're at. Because you could be someone who, you know, who waits, holds up, holds back on, you know, expression. And then, you know, you appear patient and then you fire up, or you may fire up in closed doors. No one has seen you blown up before. Or the complete opposite, you blow up all the time and people just don't misunderstand you. Maybe you come off like someone who's always like going off on the mouth and you're just speaking your mind, you know. Anyway, so with that said, let me just assess your chart right now. So so Aries, like I said, is working on your 12th house. The unconscious, the subconscious, all that is in the 12th house, the spiritual realms. And now you have Aries there. So that house is going to appear to be more active. So you're going to see a lot of your unconscious thinking coming to the forefront. And you're going to have a level of reassurance and confidence in yourself when approaching such a vulnerable state, so that you don't overwhelm yourself. You have to accept beforehand that being human sometimes looks messy. that being human sometimes just plays out messy. It just sometimes is a hot mess, and so certain things are out of our control and certain things are in our control. So with that said, you do have to assess what it is that you can and cannot do, and only do with what you can. Because if you can't make, lemonade out of any of the lemons because all the lemons are spoiled, well, pick a different fruit. You know what I mean? Pick a different fruit. And I didn't get into the next card. Confidence is your key to success. So, like I just said, reassurance. Being reassured within yourself, who you are, what you want, and how you don't need others to make it happen. That's really what I think we're getting at here. Sun energy, Leo. Use the sun to ignite your spirit, your confidence. Something's telling me you guys need to be in nature a little bit more, and preferably the morning to take in the sun. New moon in Leo. Yeah, new moon energy. This is giving new moon energy. In order to restore your confidence, take a moment and enjoy the sun. Take a sun bath. Maybe you guys haven't had one in a while. Or maybe you just need it again. Or you need more of them. And it's a form of pampering yourself. And I know you guys love that. So go ahead and pamper yourself with the sun bath, It doesn't have to be fancy, Taurus. Like, it doesn't have to be fancy, my love. Maybe that's where we have to do with what we have in order to manifest more. See, when you accept where you're at, you invite the doors to open to receive so much more, into your field of frequency. You let yourself take it in and receive, you know what I mean? So sometimes that's what you have to do. If you have to sunbathe on your dirty rooftop that your landlord does not clean, my love, go get some beach chairs or a towel and make it cute. Make it work. Do not get skeeved out by the little things that don't make you feel Taurus-y, perhaps. Maybe right now it's time to not look at being humble as accepting you're broke. I think maybe that's like an underlining thing that you guys feel like. To accept the simple things feels like you're settling, so you may not even entertain the little things at times, perhaps, which is like why Aries is in your 12th house, making you reevaluate your values unconsciously. What are your unconscious? What's going on unconsciously on a daily is being presented to you. So my love, my Taurus rising guys, this might be a very sensitive time right now for you because of the 12th house activity with the eclipse, but do not let it overwhelm you. You got this. And yeah, let's just do one more card. Oh my god, I forgot about the spirit animal. I was supposed to move on to the next sign, but I guess you guys need a little bit more loving, so we gonna give you guys that. Okay, so I love this deck, guys. I am an animal lover, and I do think, animals have just as much manifesting powers as us humans. We just have the advantage of communicating so that, it's a lot of shared manifesting. Animals, are doing their thing and bringing us blessings and resources, providing beautiful melodies in the morning from birds. That's why I just love this deck. Anyway, universe, let me know what Taurus rising needs to hear. What does Taurus rising have to hear right now, Uni? I call the universe Uni, by the way, guys. It's my little nickname. Uni is my bestie, as Uni should be everyone's. Alright, just make it obvious. Make the card pop out. I feel like it was this. It's giving this. But because I said I want a card to pop out, I don't want to flip that. So we'll do 2 cards. But, make it pop out, Uni. Make it pop out. Make it jump out. What does Taurus rising need to hear on top of this? Just... wow. Okay. Interesting. Let's assess this a little bit more. Let's look at the picture. Any significance with the picture? Wow. This did something for me even. I never pulled this card. Out of this I've always had this deck. I didn't even know I had this card. Snake Spirit. Time to heal. Time to shed the old you, the old skin, and like a cobra, listen in on what moves you. Time to heal. Listen in on the song that moves you. What is the narrative, the song that makes you move and shed the old skin? Wow, that's beautiful. I love this card. I wish I was a Taurus rising for this video. Oh, I love this. This card is like one of my favorites. Sacred Beetle Spirit. Magic works through you. So, Taurus, you may doubt your ability sometimes with your manifesting power, perhaps. Maybe you doubt what you can bring in or if you could keep it. I'm getting it might be the latter a little bit more. If you can keep it, the worrisome of keeping this material possession. And perhaps you need to equate that because you're able to get this, it doesn't mean you can't do it again, whether you was to lose it or not. To not be that attached to your material possessions, and certain things may make you remind you that you came from a place, and to see these certain things remind you of where you're at, so it keeps you going. I do think that's the underlining motivation for Taurus, and that's what keeps you guys going, which I think is beautiful. But anything in oversaturation can, just hinder the mind a bit. So I don't want you guys to overwhelm yourself and feel like, you're on the hamster wheel and you haven't caught a break. Maybe it's time to take a break, let yourself heal, let the magic work through you. That's so beautiful. Okay, Taurus rising. This is your video for May. And this is just the effects after the eclipse. I just wanted to make a video pertaining to the effects after and how it is going to affect your May. Now, there's other transits. I just want to focus in on the really, really big transits. There is also Jupiter conjunct Uranus, I believe, in Taurus. So this is on your ascendant. So you're having a good month. Like, this is a lucky moment for you guys. I think it's a very lucky moment. You just have to accept your individuality at its fullest and rock on. Rock on. Anyway, guys, until next time. Love you. My name is Gawd. You're watching Gawd Cafe.